I'll help you upload it. Okay, so I'll change my view so I can see you all. Yeah, so thanks everyone for being here. Just because we started the recording, I'll offer the reminder that you're welcome to start this practice in any position that's comfortable today. So you might want to join me in a seated position. You're welcome to lie down or even stand up. We'll just be here for the next probably 10 minutes or so just to arrive with some breath. So your eyes are welcome to soften, or you might want to close your gaze. If your eyes are open, perhaps just gazing down at the earth or the floor in front of you. And you're really just taking your time here, knowing that there's no rush, and just offering yourself permission to arrive, permission to land in this space that you're in, permission to land in this virtual yet global circle we're creating together today. In space just to land in your heart. Oftentimes when we're in these high stress environments or we're exposed to lots of trauma, we might tend to close our heart, kind of detach from what's present. So if you'd like, you can offer yourself permission just to tune into the heart space. Just seeing what might be underneath all the noise, all the pressure, all the to-dos. Just observing if there's any emotions or feelings, sensations. And just allowing what is to be. Knowing that there is space for all of you here. All that you brought with you is welcome. And you're worthy of this time of slowing down and arriving. You're worthy of this care that we're offering ourselves by being here. And you might want to land in the breath. Just noticing as the breath flows in and as the breath flows out. Observing if there might be any tension in the breath. And if you're ready to, you can let that tension go. Perhaps allowing the earth to hold it for this next hour together. What might that be like? Allowing for fluid, easeful breath to flow through. And taking a moment now just to scan the body, noticing if there's tension in the physical body. And if you notice any places of tension, you might want to place a hand there or send a little bit of love and care. Perhaps softening the tension. And I'll invite you to place both hands somewhere on your body, anywhere that could use some love or support, or even just your heart and your belly. And using this touch as a way to just offer yourself a little bit of care, a little bit of tenderness. You know, when I was serving in the refugee camps in Greece, I often compared my situation and didn't feel that sense of worthiness of joy and comfort. I like to offer that as a reminder that no matter what our situation is, we're worthy. All of you is worthy and welcome in this space. You're welcome to leave the hands here, or perhaps extending that care by massaging. You might start at your shoulders with your hands, massaging the shoulders and down the arms, taking your time, the upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, both hands. Offering that care to your hands and just taking this time to pour the love inward. You might want to return back up towards the neck and massage out the neck. And the upper back. Taking your time, and when you're ready, when that feels complete, you can lower your palms perhaps back onto your legs, back down to your sides. And we're going to begin to synchronize the breath with just a little bit of movement, but remember that you're here to make this practice your own. So if it doesn't serve you, just let it go. So as we inhale, we can bring our palms facing towards the sky, just allowing them to rest down on the legs if we're seated, down at our sides if we're standing or lying down. So as we inhale through the nose, our palms will face upwards. And then as we exhale, we can turn our palms downwards. So the palm is resting on the legs. So this is just a fluid, easeful breath at your own rhythm. We inhale through the nose, palms facing the sky. Exhaling through the nose or mouth, palms facing down towards the earth. So we're just noticing the breath as it flows in and as it flows out. So inhaling and exhaling at your own rhythm here, synchronizing breath and movement. And I'll just name that I'm visiting my mom, so you might hear my mom's dogs in the background, but if so, just allowing that to be a reminder to drop back into presence. You might notice or invite a sense of evenness between the inhale and the exhale. Completing one more round at your own pace. And before we begin our movement, I just want to share a little quote that I found as I was waking up this morning and preparing for our session. And it's from Rebecca Lee. She shares that the ocean does not apologize for its depth in the mountains, and the mountains do not seek forgiveness for the space they take, and so neither shall I. So with that, a reminder that all of you is welcome, and welcome in this space, and really welcome to take up space. So I'm going to move back so you can see my physical body. And we'll begin to, again, synchronize breath and movement and welcome in some breath awareness. So again, just leave that to the side if that's not for you today. So I'm going to bring my legs out in front of me. If you have a mat, you can be on your mat. If not, no worries at all. And using whatever props will support you. So I have a bad knee, so sometimes I place a pillow under my right knee. So know that that's welcome. And we'll just begin by shaking out the legs. So maybe kicking the knees and the legs, just beginning to welcome some blood and some fluidity into the lower body. And we can open and close the toes. So we're kind of opening and closing the hips. As fast or as slow as you like. I kind of like to go fast here and bring some fluidity. And you can release that, finding length in the spine. So sitting up nice and tall. You can grab both arms, and then we're going to hug the right knee into the chest. So my fingers are threaded in front of my shin. So I'll inhale as I extend, and then exhale to pull it in, keeping my spine nice and tall. So my chest is raised. So just flowing with your breath here. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to pull it in. And we could do one more of those. Exhaling knee to the chest. And then from there, we can cradle the right leg. So we'll have the right toes flexed up towards the sky, foot engaged. And you can grab the foot with your left palm, or you can place the foot into the left elbow crease. Pulling the leg in towards the chest, straightening the spine, finding length through the crown of the head. Pausing here. And then you're welcome to sway from side to side. Just warming up our hips. Keeping that foot engaged to protect the knee here. And then we can release that right leg down. And on your next inhale, you can bring that left knee in towards the chest now. We exhale to lengthen. And inhale to bring it in. Straightening and bending at your own pace. Easeful movement and easeful breath. You might want to engage your core muscles by pulling them in towards your spine. Making sure the shoulders are away from the ears. Perhaps one more. When that side feels complete, we can cradle the left leg now. So again, the sole of the left foot can come into the right elbow crease, or you might want to just grab it with the right palm. Engaging those left toes, keeping the left knee safe. If you haven't already brought in some movement, you're welcome to sway that leg from side to side. And we can release both legs down. So you're welcome to come cross-legged. We're gonna do some spinal flexion, or you can join me in bringing both soles of the feet onto the earth. I'll sit sideways so you can see my spine. And bring the palms onto the front of my shins for some support here. Just inhale, arching, so bringing the chest forward, gaze forward. And then exhaling to round. I'm sorry if you hear my mom's dogs. Hopefully it's not too distracting. Inhaling to open the chest. And exhaling, bringing the chin down towards the chest, rounding the spine here. And moving with the rhythm of your breath. So finding your own pace. Releasing any tension in the spine. And this is an invitation to find a sense of ease with the movement. So sometimes I tend to really just force or push myself rather than just finding a sense of softness. So perhaps just letting go of the pressure a little bit and allowing a sense of ease as we move throughout the movement and the practice together. And we can return to neutral. Now we can bring the movement and the warm-ups into our shoulders by rolling the shoulders forward. And backwards when you're ready. Okay, when you're ready, you can join me all the way up into standing. We're going to come into some half sun salutations. So you can join me at the back of your mat if you have one. Change this angle a little bit here. Yeah, so taking your time to come into a comfortable standing position. The feet can be parallel, about hip distance apart, or whatever feels natural in your body. So just checking in, taking another moment to notice if there's any tension. So just scanning through the body. Inviting a sense of softness, the space between the eyebrows, and the jawbone and cheeks, and the shoulders, and then the belly. You can even invite a sense of softness into the knees by welcoming a slight bend. We want to keep that bend throughout all of our standing positions. So we can inhale, reaching the arms up to the sky, filling the breath, filling the body with the breath, and exhaling, chest comes forward, releasing down into forward folds. And breathing here, our first forward fold. So feel free to bend your knees as deep as you like. And we can inhale to flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, softening down. And we'll inhale, rolling up the spine one vertebrae at a time. Exhaling, hands come down to the heart space. Arjuna Mudra. Inhale, reaching the arms up to the sky, finding length in the spine. And exhale, coming forward into forward folds. Remembering that slight bend in the knees here. Breathing. And inhaling, flat back, palms come to the shins or thighs. Finding length through the crown of the head, out through the hips. And exhaling to release. And we can root to rise all the way up. Hands coming together down at the heart space. And we'll do that one more time. Inhaling to rise. Exhale, bending forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling to release. Inhale, rooting to rise all the way up, reaching for the sky, and then bringing that down into the heart space. We're going to come into Chi Warrior, so bringing a little Chi into the session. If it's new for you, can again you might want to have your feet a little bit more wide than hip distance. It's a little more natural for me. And I'm going to scoop the air as I inhale my right knee up. Palms facing the sky. I'm going to exhale, opening my mouth, breathing through the mouth, sending my right knee and both palms forward. Setting the right foot down, scooping the air up, now kicking my left leg forward. Exhaling through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. Right leg. Inhaling, scooping the air, filling the body with the breath. So continuing here at your own pace. Inhale to scoop the air up. And we exhale, releasing by kicking the leg out and breathing through the mouth. So one more on each side. Inhaling through the mouth, inhaling through the nose, exhaling to release through the mouth. And when you finish, pausing in mountain. Just standing tall, rooting down through the soles of the feet, shoulders back, palms forward, gaze soft or closed. Just allowing that to settle, noticing if there's been any shifts in your quality of presence. Just noticing what you notice. And coming up to the front of our mats now. We can step the right foot back into high lunge. So we're up on our toes, coming into high lunge. So you can take your hands, making sure your hips are in alignment. So both hips are squared and forward. Perhaps pulling that left hip forward, that left hip back, right hip forward. And then you're welcome to bring your arms up. So arms are active, palms facing one another, shoulders softening away from the ears. Just breathing here. So we can inhale, slight arch in the back. And then as we exhale, we can bring the chest down towards the knees. The palms come back parallel with our legs. So our neck stays in alignment with the body as well. So flowing with your breath to inhale back and exhale forward. Perhaps slowing it down just a little bit here. And as it may become challenging physically, just noticing if you can invite that sense of ease through the challenge rather than forcing, and remembering to honor your boundaries and take breaks when you need to. This is your practice. And we can meet back with the arms up towards the sky. Take one full round of breath there. So we can inhale. And exhaling, perhaps through the mouth, just releasing any heat that's building up. And when we're ready, we can step back up towards the front of the mat. And stepping the left foot back now. High lunge on the other side. So toes are both facing forward. My right knee is over my right ankle. My hips are in alignment. So I'm pulling my right hip back. My left hip goes forward a little bit. Slight tuck, and then I raise my arms up towards the sky. Again, my palms are facing one another and my shoulders are softened away from my ears. And breathing. With the option to add the movement and breath again. So we inhale to slightly arch the spine, and exhale, bringing the chin down towards the right knee. Flowing with your breath. Again, finding that ease or that softness through the challenge. And meeting back up towards the top. One full breath here. And then meeting at the top of the mat. So I'm going to share, I haven't shared this in this space before, but it's a Kundalini Himalayan Kriya. So I'm going to come into Warrior 2 stance with my legs. I know you can't see me very well with the video. If you're newer to yoga, you can come into the high lunge, and then you're going to pivot that back foot down. So my back foot is almost parallel with the back of my mat. My front toes are forward and the knee is just over that ankle there. And bringing the arms active out to your sides. Front palm facing towards the center. So my thumb faces towards the sky. I'm going to tuck my fingers here. And then as if I have a bow and arrow, you might want to watch if this is your first time. I'm going to bring my left arm forward and pull that bow and arrow back. And I'm going to look with focus towards the tip of my right thumb. So my gaze is very focused. And I'm going to bring in the breath of fire. So if that's not something you're familiar with, you can just breathe as you'll hear me sound, but you don't have to worry about the stomach. So we can inhale through the nose and out. And what we're going to do is connect the breath of fire with movement with our leg. So I guess I'll just show you. I'm going to bring my arms to the side, left arm comes forward, pulling it back and adding breath of fire and movement with my right knee. This is called Arjuna Warrior, tapping into the strength of our body and of our legs. The breath of fire is not familiar with you. You can also just bring a shh So a sh sound out through your mouth. So it's sh, 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 Continuing here for about 1 more minute, focusing on your thumb, tapping into your sense of strength, into your power. And resting in stillness, however stillness looks to you. You can bring the arms back into Warrior 2, both arms parallel with the earth, palms facing down, gaze forward over those right fingertips, and breathing. And pivoting that back foot, coming back to the front of your mat. And we'll now alternate sides. So stepping the opposite foot back. I'll switch directions just so you can see me. So I'm going to come into Warrior 2 on this side. So if that's new for you, you can come into High Lunge and then pivot that back foot. So it's almost parallel with the back of your mat. My front ankle is about parallel with the middle of my back foot. My front knee is bent. Arms active in Warrior 2. Front palm faces forward, thumbs towards the sky. And again, coming into Arjuna Warrior. So pulling that bow and arrow back with the right palm and adding in breath of fire, or the shh sound, with combining that with, synchronizing that with the movement in your left leg. So here I'll go. Shh, shh, shh. Focusing at that left thumbnail. Shh, shh. Really tapping into your sense of power, your ability to focus. Shh, shh, shh. Continuing here, focusing. Letting the heat build up. And releasing, coming back into Warrior 2, arms parallel, palms facing down towards the earth, gaze out towards those left fingertips, and breathing. You can pivot that back foot, stepping back up to the front of your mat. And taking your time to make your way down onto your mats. So we're going to come into boat pose. Again, we're going to invite the challenge as well as the softness. So there's lots of options here. You're welcome to come into whatever variation best suits you. You can come down onto your elbows. You can bring your palms into the back of your thighs, finding that length and lift in the chest, or bringing your arms out to your sides. I'm going to go ahead and support myself by grabbing the backs of my thighs, as my abs are still recovering from having a baby. So I'm going to honor my limits here and invite you to do the same. So you can come into stillness here, or invite a little bit of dynamic movement if that's more settling for you. And again, noticing the challenge, but letting go of the grip. So we're not forcing, we're not holding on. Just inviting a sense of ease. Shoulders are on the back. Breath is flowing in through the nose and out through the mouth or nose. You're welcome to stay where you're at or try a different variation of ode if that feels appealing. Another 20 seconds here. Core engaged, pulling that tummy in towards the spine, keeping your low back safe. And releasing. And come all the way down onto your back if that feels accessible. If not, you can also do these in seated. You just have to get a little creative. So we're going to come onto our backs with our knees bent. Soles of the feet can start on the earth. And then you can straighten that right foot. Toes flexed, foot engaged, and then cross it over. So we're going to bring our hands. They can come to the back of the left thigh or to the front of the left shin, just finding what is most, you want a slight challenge, but you want ease, so you don't want to force it. So an invitation just to soften here, opening that right knee. You can use the right elbow to support that opening, and pulling the left leg in towards the chest. Just breathing here. A lot of times we tend to hold stress and emotions in the hip area, so I like to always include a little hip opening in my self-care. I'm just beginning to slow down the practice. Slowly making our way towards our Yoga Nidra, our yummy guided rest. And you can release that left foot down. Now interlacing the palms behind the right thigh, straightening the right thigh just as much as it wants to. Again, we're not forcing it, and we're keeping that right foot engaged. So our toes are coming down towards our face. And the heel goes up towards the sky. So finding length in that right back leg. You could also use a sweater or a towel or a strap with this one. Perhaps sending our breath and our awareness to the back of the leg. And we can release the sole of the right foot down onto the earth. Taking a pause here, you can offer yourself a little bit of care again by placing your palms onto your belly or onto your heart, or to your solar plexus. Perhaps noticing the sense of connection between the palm and the body. There might be a sense of warmth. I know my hands are quite warm here in Arizona. And if your hands are on your belly, you might notice the breath there. So you might notice some movement in the hands as you inhale and as you exhale. Now we can keep the sole of the right foot on the earth as we straighten the left leg, flexing the left toes and foot, and then crossing the outside of the left ankle to the front of the right thigh. And then pulling the right thigh, flexing the right foot and toes, pulling that in towards your chest. Again, your hands can be behind your thigh or in front of your shin. And we just breathe here, allowing the left hip to slowly and gently open. Release that right sole of the foot back down and finding that length in the left back leg now. Again, the left toes and foot are active, so toes come towards the back or maybe even down towards your face. Left heel raising up towards the sky. Knowing it's okay to have your knees bent or straight as feels natural. And this side's a little bit tighter for me, so I'm really going to make sure to send my breath, send a little care into the back of my left thigh, my hamstring. Releasing, noticing if there's any tension in your shoulders or your jaw here. You're releasing when that feels complete for you. We can bring the soles of our feet back on the earth, about the width of the mat that you're on, if you're on one, or a towel, and then allow your knees to fall in together. Making sure there's length in your neck. You're not crunching your spine or your neck here. And allowing this to just release the tension that might be present in your lower back. Again, if the palms are resting on the body, you might notice the breath and the movement of the breath as it flows in. And as the breath flows out. We can bring our arms into cactus now. So bringing our elbows at 90 degrees, the backs of the arms resting on the earth. And then our knees and feet can come back parallel about hip distance. So just taking a moment to reset the spine here before inhaling to raise the knees and the shins up. Shins come parallel with the earth. Inhaling to fill the lungs. And then on your exhale, you can lower the knees down towards the left side. You might want to support them with a pillow underneath the thighs or between. You might just like it just the way it is. The knees may or may not touch the earth, and you want to keep that right shoulder as close to the earth as you can. So we'll bring the gaze over that right shoulder so the head turns to the right. Pausing here, allowing the twist to slowly release the spine. You can place the left palm on top of the outside of the right thigh if you like. And bringing those legs back up parallel with the earth. And then taking your time to exhale and release over to the other side. Gaze can come out to the left, keeping that left shoulder rooted into the earth if you can. Supporting your legs if you like, and you have the option to bring the right palm onto the outside of the left thigh. Slowly releasing any tension in the spine. Allowing yourself to soften here. And coming back to neutral, and then taking your time to come into final relaxation. So that might look like just resting on your back. You might want some cushions underneath. It might be more comfortable for you to lay down under your side. I'm going to give you just a minute to get as settled and as comfortable. Grab props, maybe take a sip of water. I'm going to go just a second and turn off the dryer that someone turned off in the next room so you don't hear that background noise for the Yoga Nidra. So I'll be back and allow you some space here. Okay, sorry for that loud announcement. I guess that happens when I hit mute. So hopefully you're all just getting nice and snuggled and cozy. I invite you to use any comforts, any blankets, pillows. Might be nice to even hold a cushion, give a little hug. Perhaps even offering yourself the same care you would if you were tucking in a young child or perhaps a close friend. So seeing if there's perhaps a way to find even just a tiny bit more comfort in your body. Again, the position is up to you. And we're going to move into what's known as Yoga Nidra. If it's a new practice for you or a new experience for you, just know that there's really no way to do this wrong. Really, just to be here is all you need to do. So you can tune in or tune out my voice. And the invitation is to remain still, and whatever that looks like for you, but know that you are welcome to make any adjustments you need to throughout the practice or throughout the experience. Just perhaps trying to do it with ease. So you might want to soften or close your gaze, just allowing yourself to settle, allowing yourself to be held in the arms of the earth beneath you. Perhaps scanning the body and noticing if there's anywhere you would like to soften a little bit. And really just opening up your senses. So rather than avoiding or trying to tune out, just inviting the sounds in your space, allowing them to allow you to anchor into the present moment. Noticing if there's any sensations in your mouth. Are there any tastes present? You might notice the blanket or the clothes resting on your skin, or perhaps the sensation of the air on your face. Just really taking your time to get settled, welcoming all of your experience, your senses, any sensations present. So just welcoming all that is in this moment, welcoming all of you, every tear, every drop of blood, every emotion, and just loving all of you. We're going to travel our awareness throughout the body, and the invitation is to really just offer some loving care. So we can begin just by resting in the space of the heart, coming in tune with the heart that allows us to love, to share compassion, love both for ourselves and for others. So taking our time in this heart space and allowing it to open. If there's been perhaps a sense of tightness or restriction or perhaps a closure, knowing that that's okay, that might be a form of self-protection. So just allowing yourself the space and the time to be with what's present in the heart. You might notice a sense of warmth there. You might like to invite that sense of warmth to travel up to the top of your head, offering some loving care to the top of your head. Out to the cheeks, offering this loving care for the jaw, softening there, the ears and the neck. And this care travels down, back to the space of the heart, and over to the right breastbone, the right shoulder, elbow, wrist, the right palm, the right back of the palm, the right thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, and little finger. Traveling back up through the palm, the back of the hand and the wrist, up through the lower arm, the elbow, the upper arm, the right shoulder, the right breastbone, and then back to the center of the heart. Over to the left breastbone, the left shoulder, the left elbow and wrist. Loving care flowing into the left palm, the back of the hand, the thumb, the first finger, second finger, third finger, and little finger. Flowing back up through the left palm, back of the hand, the wrist and lower arm, the elbow, the upper arm, back to the left shoulder and breastbone, back into the space of the heart. Really bathing in the warmth of the heart and allowing that to flow down, filling the stomach, the back, the full back, the upper back, the middle back, the lower back, full of this loving care. And flowing down to the right hip, the right upper leg, knee, lower leg, the right ankle, sole of the foot, top of the foot, the big toe, the second toe, the third toe, the fourth toe, and the little toe. Traveling and flowing back through the right foot, ankle, lower leg, knee, upper leg, and hip. Filling the full pelvis bone, flowing over to the left hip, and down into the left upper leg, knee, lower leg, the left ankle, sole of the foot, top of the foot, the left big toe, second toe, third toe, and little toe. Flowing back up through the left foot, lower leg, knee, upper leg and hip. Flowing back through the pelvis bone, like up through the stomach and back to the space of the heart. The whole body bathing in this loving, tender care. The whole body. And when you're ready, perhaps again just noticing the breath. We can inhale to receive and exhale to offer. So breathing with ease, inhaling to fill up with this loving care, and exhaling to send this loving care out into the world. Inhaling, we receive, and exhaling, we offer. Perhaps inviting a quality of evenness in the inhale and the exhale, in the receiving and in the offering. Knowing that you're welcome to stay in this experience of rest for as long as you would like. Knowing that you're worthy of rest and care. You're worthy of all the love in the world. And when we're ready, there's the option to just begin to transition back into the present moment through the senses. So again, tuning in and noticing if there's any sounds far or near. Perhaps tuning into the sound of your breath. Can begin to deepen the breath as the breath flows in and out through the nose. Really just taking your time here. And while we're in this space, I'd like to share a poem with you. Pull up on my phone. It's titled, I Am Enough, a poem about worthiness written by Jennifer Healy. Just allowing these words to settle into your heart, settle into your heart as we begin to slowly and easily bring our practice and our experience to a close together. There is a wholeness that's already mine. It's already ours. I am not just the seed. I am the rain that waters the flower. It's a reality that's already there, that I am enough. I take on faith that wholeness is already mine, that I need do nothing to deserve, that my worthiness is based only on my being. I am wise enough to let go, and I am strong enough to remember the truth of who I really am. I can encounter the world in such a way that I remember who I am. I am the rest inside the unrest. I am the depth of the sky and the light piercing the sea. I am the crest of a wave. All that I need to be, I am. There is no problem to solve in this moment. There is no plan to make, no failure to be feared, no other place to be. This moment is enough. This place is enough. This imperfection is enough. I am patient enough for my life to unfold in divine timing. I feel the fullness of my life in this moment. I feel the richness of my life in this space. I am loved beyond thought, and I have nothing to prove. There is no one to impress. I receive the message that being is enough. I am wise enough to see magic through a child's eyes. I am resilient enough to see past the pain. I am kind enough to realize that my worth has been with me this whole time. Beyond the shadows that I've created, the message remains. I am the same. I have always been enough, simply by being here. Simply by being. It only takes a moment, and I remember this again. So taking your time to allow this message of inherent worthiness to settle. And I know it's the evening for all of you, I think, or almost all of you. So if you'd like to stay in this restful position, you're welcome to. There's no need to join me in meeting back up in a seated position for our closing. So know that the option is yours to stay and rest, or to slowly in your own time roll over onto your side if you're not already there, in meeting me in whatever comfortable seated position you'd like. Keeping the gaze and the focus inward. So your gaze might be closed or softly looking down at the ground or the earth in front of you. And whenever you are there, you're welcome to keep your palms in your lap. You might want to place your left palm on your heart and your right hand on top of your left. Just taking your time to meet me here. And as you connect with your heart space, just noticing if there's perhaps a sense of gratitude that wants to arise. If not, that's okay too. So perhaps taking a breath of gratitude for yourself for being here, showing up for yourself in this way, caring, loving yourself. Perhaps taking a breath of gratitude for all those who made this experience possible for us. So maybe our teachers and wisdom holders, or perhaps a roommate who's prepping food or watching kids. So anyone who supported you to be in this space, perhaps sharing gratitude. And taking a breath of gratitude for one another. So for all those who are in this global circle together, spanning across oceans and time zones. And taking one more breath together, this time sharing our gratitude for all beings everywhere. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May the thoughts and words of my own life make that happiness and that freedom possible for all beings. May our practice and our time together send ripples of care out into the world. Ripples of care and love for all beings. So you might want to bring your chin down towards your chest, softly opening and closing your eyes if they're not already open. And taking your time to come back to the screen if you'd like.